Two big pieces of news just dropped, one good, one bad. The good news is that Overwatch 2 is coming to Steam on August 10th, and the bad news is that Activision Blizzard will give $6 million to any team not renewing their agreement with the league at the end of this season. So there's a lot to go through here, and I've already made discursive videos talking about Overwatch esports, Overwatch Ranked, and Overwatch as a whole, so I won't repeat those talking points, but honestly, who's surprised? I'll start off with the good news with the Steam announcements. As Stylosa says, this means that for the first time in Overwatch's history, we'll be able to see the live concurrent player count for Overwatch. Now, whether this is going to include players using Battle.nets, I don't actually know, and I hope that it does so we get a more accurate picture of the live Overwatch player base, but this thankfully does make Overwatch more marketable to the average player, and should encourage more people to play Overwatch due to an increase in accessibility. As for the bad news though, it's pretty bad short term. It jeopardizes the livelihood of many players, coaches, and the staff, and the people working behind the scenes to make the league a reality. They'll likely have to find new homes under different IPs, or go to collegiate, which leads me on to the point of, where does the league go from here? Honestly, I don't really know. Maybe more localized, regionalized, grassroots type tournaments, set up across the world, who knows? What I do know is that investors want their money back. The league basically makes no money as it contributes under 1% of the revenues from Activision Blizzard, which shouldn't be a surprise. So who knows where the esports scene will go from here. As for the rest of this video, I'll read out tweets from players, coaches, staff, streamers, and the community in a Bo Blacks type style, so you get a better picture of how people feel about this change. Get Amazed, the head coach for Team France and for the Washington Justice, stated that, "I'm not sure what's going to happen next for esports and Overwatch, and I'm very confused. I'm sure I'm not the only one that sacrificed so many things to pursue my dream in Overwatch. I'm trying to stay optimistic. Hopefully those changes are happening for the better." Spino says, "If this happens, good riddance to an artificial, bloated, mismanaged mess of a league that pretended to be everything it was not. Love the players, desk, and teams, hate the league." Bam_ says, "To all the people saying good riddance, terrible league, etc. Fuck yourself. Don't blame the league, blame the higher-ups who knowingly allowed the league to fail. So many people poured their hearts and souls into making this league amazing, don't invalidate their hard work." Mahir Gon says, $6 million added to the Arsenal transfer budget, thank you gladiators. Boga says, "I never liked OWL and thought that it stunted the growth of the Overwatch pro scene, but I feel sad for all the people that will probably lose their jobs because of this." Custer says, "Say what you will about OWL, it gave me everything I have today, and it's created incredible moments for many. The league model was broken from the beginning. Here's to hoping the pieces can be picked up into something that makes sense and is more true to Overwatch esports." Gator, the head coach for the Atlanta Vein, says, "Anyone got any collegiate positions available? Skull emoji." Costa Uber says, "A lot of people will share their opinions over the next week or so. Many will gloat, many will say they told you so. Frankly, I don't mind. Some have had legitimate misgivings about what we tried to do, but I don't have the luxury to think about that. Family to feed, games to cast." Ballsack Esports say, "Ballsack exclusive, according to multiple sources, the Glazers are seeking to buy out the rights to the Overwatch League, expanding to untapped regions, with new teams such as the Birmingham Knife Crime Crusaders." Door says, "I think it's kinda poetic that one of the most memorable stories in Overwatch League's history was a team overcoming the worst losing streak in sports history. In honor of that, here's Shanghai getting their win one more time, just in case you wanted to remember. Heart emoji." Zoe says, "Well, ellipsis, smiling emoji." Dante says, "Unfortunate news for Overwatch esports. Thank you everyone working behind the scenes. Truly an unforgettable experience for everyone involved." Contenders player Ice says, "If only I told every Western Overwatch player I talked to not go to OWL, and that collegiate would be the future of Overwatch and help you long term. It was so obvious, but I did really enjoy watching the league throughout the years, and it sucks to see it all go down like this." Uber says, "Suffice to say that telling the stories of our remarkable players in the Overwatch League has been the honour of a lifetime. Regardless of what is to come, I will continue to find ways to shine a light on greatness and continue to share my passion with you all." Avar says, "Really excited for the ad reads today on Platchat." Chef Billy says, "Absolutely gutted from the news this morning. Overwatch casting has been a part of my life for 5 years. But more importantly, please spare a moment of consideration for those who lost their positions today. I hope all of you land on your feet without too much hassle." ATP says, "What a painful way to start the day." J3 says, "My own rant, my opinion. I hope Alienware Monthly Melee, Gosu Weeklies, Carbon Series, Apex, all these different type of tournaments come back to Overwatch and is on Twitch, or at least something else to take Overwatch League's place. maybe even Microsoft looking to improve the pro scene with something they're cooking which will be 10 times better. My problems with the Overwatch League was that it always seemed like inflated numbers with the drops, which I think is fine in some cases like the playoffs or something to celebrate. Also, bridge the gap between the casual players and pro scene. Use your streamers like every other game and let them co-stream. I'm not saying this because I'm a streamer, but you have so many people, like the Overwatch World Cup for example, that wouldn't watch it if their streamer wasn't watching it too. This was probably the most fun I've ever had streaming Overwatch. I have many friends who worked with/on the Overwatch League, and I wish them the best. Like I said in the beginning, I hope there's other tournaments to replace OWL and give more opportunities to those people to work. I'd even run my own tournaments if I could, with a big prize pool, and have teams from all over play. I'm passionate about Overwatch, and that's why I complain a lot and seem annoying, but that's because I want this game to succeed. It's such a fun game, which brought me the best community I could ask for. Like I said, if you read this all, my opinion. Not everything in mine was typed because I was at the gym, lol. Styloso also tweets, imagine not telling the team who makes the fucking game you're starting to scale down Overwatch League. I ain't surprised to be honest. Especially terrible when you consider Team 4 announced the Overwatch 2 Steam debut today, which would have taken the headlines around the game in a positive direction. This is obviously referring to the clash of news between the Steam change and the Overwatch League change, and how there's no communication between Team 4, the staff, and the higher ups at Blizzard. Chef Billy also tweets, another thought as well. If you're gloating about the demise of OWL, I'm proudly tweeting and quote retweeting, making fun of it. Remember people's careers have been shattered today and now have to figure out how to provide for themselves. Don't be ghouls, show a little empathy. Super says, I don't really see a world in which every team doesn't take this. Overwatch esports will continue, but Overwatch League is probably wraps. Despite leaving, I've always rooted for Overwatch League's success and have had fantastic memories with it. Very unfortunate and sad to see. SK says, while I'm happy Overwatch League might be getting replaced by something better, this is scary for Overwatch. Would orgs even want to sign teams after this, or put on tournaments? Will it be replaced by something better? Will the replacement come before every pro has to quit? Matt Mercel says, what ABK did to Overwatch is one of the most appalling things to happen in modern gaming. A profound waste of passion, talent, resources and fans. Some of the best people I've ever worked with gave everything to try and make it work, and this is what they get. What a sad story. Sen says, to me, the Overwatch League was always greater than the sum of its parts. Year after year, the effort of countless people came together to make something we loved. Look at this. This is something we built together, and it was good while it lasted. In the end, this was home. Matt Malabonga says, I have been laid off from the Overwatch League content team as Activision Blizzard cleans house. Lots of feelings and we'll type them out, but right now, mine is of pride for the hard work and true passion my fellow crew has for the leagues. If we failed daring greatly. And that's it for the video. Shout out to my tier 2 Patreon and channel member, Broken by 50%, as well as my other members, XBenny, T-Meg, Chris Jones, Craig, 9socks, Resolucio, and Susfring. Until next time.